struggled.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. All right. What was your relationships with your teachers and maybe those that some of the peers that you had at the school? I mean, was there any?
You know what? Usually I didn't get along with the teachers, honestly.
Right.
I was always a class clown, so I'm usually getting kicked out,
Right.
usually getting detention, so I didn't really get along with the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I would try and ditch class and
Right.
stuff, so it wasn't.
Right. Okay. So overall today, are you pursuing, do you want to further your education?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in college, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're looking into maybe like a 4-year or junior college?
Yeah, a junior college for right now, actually.
And what would be like, give me a little bit, during the time that you were in school, did you have a job? Have you worked?
I did. I was working at Paul's Place. It's a restaurant through the school,
Okay.
and it was like a job program. You
Right.
know, we would package the knives and the forks and the
Right.
napkins, salt and pepper,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd send it over to the school. To the restaurant.
You'd send them over to the restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would prep everything, all the utensils, get it
Yeah.
ready,
Yeah.
the rest, okay, good. Now, when you were working, how did that make you feel when you were working?
I liked it. It got boring at times, honestly,
Right.
and because the paychecks were also really small,
Right.
it wasn't.
But it was a start.
Yeah, it was a start. I guess you could say. Yeah.
Right.
Loved it.
And so, how did it made you feel good? Because you worked for something, and then the finished product was your paycheck.
Yeah, yes, you can say.
So if you want something in life, you pretty much have to
Work for it.
Work for it,
Yeah.
work hard. So it
Work
taught
it.
you how to work at a young age.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started working?
I was 15.
You were 15 years
Yeah.
old, and then you started working, and it was a program for the school.
Mm-hmm.
So you've known at a young age that it's going to take hard work.
Yeah, to achieve something.
To achieve something
Yeah.
great. Now, what about your dream job? What would be if tomorrow you could say, I'm this person tomorrow, or this is my profession tomorrow? What would be your dream job?
A pilot.
A pilot.
I want to be a pilot.
A pilot. Wow. And what's your reasoning behind that? You want to?
I love airplanes. I used to make model airplanes.
That's right. You mentioned that you make model planes.
Yeah. I love airplanes.
Tell me more about that. What would you do in your dream job?
I just want to fly. I like being in the air. I like going fast.
Like going fast, being in the air, being above
Yeah.
things, being able to see from a
Exactly.
different view.
Mm-hmm.
And so a pilot, have you looked into what it would take to become a pilot?
You know what? The only struggle with that is math.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't think it's going to work out. But
Right. What would be your next dream job?
a cop.
A cop?
Yeah.
A police officer? Have you looked into that? What it would
Yeah,
take?
I'm trying to get back into this cadet program I was doing for about around 3 weeks ago. I was doing it, but it was too far, so I had to kind of let
Right,
it go. And I'm trying to look for one in my area.
right. And maybe that's something we can discuss to help you find a cadet program close by, and then we're able to give you, some goals to set, and maybe we can get you in a program like that. But let's look at, let's back up a little bit to the marijuana,
Okay.
because you and I know, being in law enforcement, marijuana and being a cop, pretty much you would have to, you would have to, what would you have to do,
Let it go.
You would have to let it go. So what we want to do while you're here, we want to help you here develop a treatment plan, a treatment model where you can pursue some realistic goals. We want to set some goals for you. Also, what about your medical history? Tell me a little bit about your medical history. Have you ever been in the hospital? Has anything ever happened to you? You broken a bone? Or?
I've had surgery on my arm because I was in motorcycle racing.
Right.
I fell
Uh-huh.
and I had to get it all stitched up.
Right. And then you cut yourself on what?
There was a piece of metal that just scraped it.
Scraped your arm.
Yeah.
And then so you got
Went down-
stitches.
Yeah,
And
it was really good.
you're doing better. What about in your family? Is there any diseases that run in your family? Anyone
No.
who been suffer from any illnesses,
No.
ailments? Okay. And as far as medical attention, is there anyone that needed medical attention in the past? Maybe someone on meds in your family, psychological help?
Can you explain a little bit?
Well, is there anyone maybe that has gone to therapy, that has been in therapy in your family, a family member?
No, actually.
Okay. And what we want to do, what I want to do to help you with this,
Mhm.
Curtis, is one, we want to develop a treatment plan to help you with the marijuana use.
Okay.
We want to be able to look at your support system.
Mhm.
You know, who's in your life right now? What are your the friends that you smoke marijuana with? What type of people are they? Would this be? Is this a good fit for you? But our whole goal is to start you off with small steps.
Okay.
So today you're using marijuana how many times a day? So you pretty much said you're using it every day.
Yeah.
I believe you said every day.
But how many times a day?
Yeah, how many
About
times a day?
3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you wake up and you do it?
Yeah.
And
It's
then-
kind of like my morning routine. Get
So-
up and go ahead and do it, and then usually around noontime I do it again, and then towards 5 o'clock I do it again. At nighttime before I go to bed I'll do it again.
Right.
Just
So one of the realistic goals is you're okay. You know, we can narrow down maybe the relationship. See which of your friends right now today, how many of them smoke marijuana?
about 6, 7 of them.
Yeah. So maybe a realistic short-term goal is to begin to see which friends.
To hang out with.
Yeah. You
That's
know.
what my mom told me.
And then also your mom
Yeah,
mentioned
she
it.
does tell me.
What did she tell you?
She tells me, oh, you need to, before you fall into the wrong crowd, you fall into something, just she pretty much told me that if I keep this up, it's going to get me into something I don't want to get into,
Right.
you know, jail time,
Right.
because weed makes you do things that you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And for another thing, it's legal,
Right.
so I don't.
So definitely we want to look at your whole peer relationships, who your friends are.
Mhm.
We also want to look at your time right now. So you mentioned earlier that you were working. Are you working today?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so maybe that's another thing, a realistic goal that we need to look at
Okay.
and maybe help you pursue as a job. You know,
Okay.
maybe because the idle time sometimes can trigger events. You know, where you begin to want to use marijuana.
Okay.
And then we can identify some of the emotions that you're feeling. Let's go over that maybe briefly. Before you before you smoke marijuana, is there a feeling that you have that says, hey,
Yeah, I'm a little depressed.
depressed? So, you know, we can look at the depression and see how we can treat that. What else? What are some of the other feelings that you see?
Sad, angry,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And what would you be angry about, Kurt? If you don't mind me asking, Kurt.
I would actually like to been born with my real family,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's kind of a stress. It still bothers me as much as I'm trying to ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
It still bothers me.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there certain days that maybe perhaps you remember? Is there events?
Like Thanksgiving
Time.
and Christmas and holidays and you know things like that. You know?
That's when you become angry towards
Yeah.
how you were brought up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what you know.
I mean, it's not that I don't appreciate my foster parents because
Right.
I do,
Right.
but I just would rather have been born with my biological family.
Right.
It would have been my baby.
Right. So we want to maybe equip you with some coping skills, how to cope with those things, how to prepare you maybe for the holidays.
Okay.
Maybe there's a way we can begin to look at that during the holidays. These are the emotions I feel. So if we identify those emotions, then we'll be able to, take care of that. We'll be able to prepare you prior to, you falling back into the trap and then going out and using marijuana. Maybe during Christmas. Do you feel the same way during Christmas?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even your birthday,
Mhm.
Father's Day, Mother's Day. These are all the
Yeah.
things that we can kind of get you ready for.
Okay.
Because once again, it's going to take small steps,
Mhm.
realistic goals,
Mhm.
and then what we want to do after that, the realistic goals, is just get you ready, for long-term goals. But you know what, Curtis, I'm glad you came into my office.
Okay.
It was great meeting you. I look forward to working with you.
All right.
Is there any other questions that you may have for me? Is there anything that I
I
need
do.
to
I
know?
just kind of want to know how many times a week am I going to be allowed to come to therapy?
Well, what we can do, we'll set you up with a treatment plan, and then I'd like to at least have 2 contacts with you a week,
Okay.
and we can go over that. And then maybe during one of the contacts, we can help you with help you with a job.
Okay.
and then identifying some of the emotions.
Mm.
And then maybe we can get the whole marijuana use, we can begin to kind of taper it down.
Okay.
Instead of every day,
Everything.
yeah, we'll begin to see how we can taper
Okay.
it down. But again, I'm glad that you came. It was a pleasure
All right, you too.
meeting you,
Mm.
and we'll be in touch, and we'll be able to do this again. Okay?
All right,
All right, Chris.
all right.
Good seeing you.